And we're back with some more Satisfactory. And we've got our hands on explosives. I am not even sure why I'm blowing these up. You don't really get any resources out of it, but I mean, they're there. You can blow them up, and otherwise they spit out poison when you go near them, so I figure, kill them? Oh, is that a doggy? I thought I heard one of those angry doggies around the place. Come on, where are you? Have a quick stop to grab a blue power slug. Come on, doggy. Where are you? Ah, there we go. Hey, fetch, boy. Damn it. Come back here. And the great thing is, once you've attached the explosive to them... Oh, brilliant. You can just throw it onto their face when they run by. I like to imagine them looking really, really surprised, going, wait, what's that thing stuck to my face? And then boom. But anyway, yes, we're going to knock out tier 5 and 6 today, but I was just going to blow up some of these flower plant thingies, and we get to do our research as well. So give me a few minutes to enjoy the fruits of these explosions. Since we last had a look, the factory hasn't changed that much. I installed a couple of extra lines, but honestly, it's mostly just boring stuff. We upgraded some of the lines to tier 3, we upgraded some of the mines to tier 3. Just, you know, general background stuff to improve throughput and get everything functioning. I think the only real major change was this one over here where we started making some encased industrial beams. It was recommended in the comments that I stockpile a bunch of those for later, but we also needed them for building a bunch of the mines. Anyway, to knock out our phase 2 objective up there in the top right, we need to get in, 25 more of whatever those thingy-whats that are called. I think I put in a cable this side, so... Wait, is it in here? Damn it. Which one did I put it in? You know what? It's probably the bottom one. Let's just stick in the 25 satyrs there. They'll get sent through here and spread out between all 3 of these constructors. This is what I've been doing to knock them out, is just manually put in a bunch of resources and be done with it. They're not actually that hard to do, all of these. It just takes a little bit of time, so long as... Well, I was willing to wait. Is that filling up? Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's going to need to build 25 more of whatever you may call those things. Cable, automated wirings. And in the meantime, I thought we'd have ourselves just a little bit of fun by demonstrating some of the fun toys you get out of this. One thing we got out of the Awesome Shop, the Awesome Shop was, where is it? Down here under Architecture, you get ladders. People recommended I should use these, and I did not realize just how awesome these were until I started playing around with them for a bit. For example, normally, to get up to there, I had to do a whole bunch of stuff with... Nope. Ladder. And let's just run up the ladder here. And the best thing is, you can just go straight up the ladder, and then build a ladder on top of the ladder. Make sure not to try and run up the ladder until it's actually built, though. Trying to run a blue ladder will result in you falling down, so maybe don't do that. And done. And we can keep climbing up and up and up. And would you look at that? We've reached the top of the cliffs. Now, if you're the type of person who gets vertigo, this might be a problem. And, of course, trying to jump from here would be insanity. So instead, all we'll do is we'll just say, do that there. Oh, how about we just make that direction? Yeah, that's much better. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't like me moving when I'm on this, does it? You know what? Let's just build them from here. There we go. Plenty good. Now we can just walk down here. And we've made it all the way to the cliff face pretty much without too much hassle. Well, okay, maybe a little bit of dizziness. That stuff is... That's a pretty straight up climb. Anyway, now onto some of the other fun things we've discovered. Did you know there's a limit on how much damage you can take from falling? So you can fall off the highest height on the map, and no matter what, you can never take more than 96 to 97% damage. So theoretically, if we were to take a running jump out of here, and then... Ew, that's the good stuff. So long as we were at full health before we hit the ground, we can't die. That's a nice way to get down off cliffs. Okay, maybe we should have used a parachute and it would have been less crunchy on our kneecaps, but, you know, it's just good to know that that's an option. Yep, there we go. That's the good stuff. All better again. Also, we really should have started researching these hard drives earlier, it seems. These take 10 minutes. Once you start the hard drive scanning process, the options, you're going to get 3 options. However, those options are determined the moment you start the hard drive scanning process. So if you want to cheese this, you're going to have to do a whole bunch of saving and reloading. I am not that bothered. There they are. How many hard drives we got? We got 12 hard drives. That's good to know. Back here at our space elevator, we have got all the components necessary to drive us up to level 5. So you know what? Let's seal this sucker up. The whole point of this elevator seems to be to unlock the new tiers, and then your little hub base seems to be to unlock all the techs inside those tiers. Anyway, Done. All right. And if you're doing this and then they start, what was it, the AI or whatever her name is, starts talking to you and telling you all this stuff and you're like, I don't care, and you don't want to listen, you can just actually hit enter to skip it. It even tells you that. I only noticed that recently. But we're going to want a bunch of stuff out of here. Ooh, oil processing looks shiny. And we're producing all that stuff, so we can totally knock that out. Oh, we don't have plastic or rubber yet. That means we're going to need alternative fuel recipes. Let me have a look through here. Looking through this, it seems pretty standard. You basically have to unlock oil processing so you can make plastic and rubber, which is sort of the limiter for pretty much everything else. So you need plastic for this one, you need plastic and rubber for that one, gas mask, you need plastic and rubber, tier 6. It's slightly different in that it needs computers and heavy modular frames. However, to get computers, you need industrial manufacturing, which requires plastic. And then you need jetpacks, plastic and rubber. This one requires computers, which also requires plastic. So, yeah, basically your only choice is to unlock oil processing and then go from there. Luckily, we have all of this stuff ready to go. We can knock that out immediately. However, our hard drive thingy did complete over here, though. Yes, I should probably point out what's a very handy way to do things. If we go in here, we can put down a second MAM for researching. And they're basically all linked. It's a global one, so if we just go in here, we can get the results of the hard drive scan. And these are our options. We get pure copper ingots. Ooh, alternative blueprint for quick wire SATA. Ooh. And what the hell is this? Alternative crystal beacon? Yeah, I don't really see the need for the crystal beacons. Quickwire SATA is just taking gold, which we kind of need more of. Sorry, Caterium. I think pure copper ingots are a good one. It basically tells you to take water, mix it with your raw ores, and just get more copper out. It just, yeah, it's more from less, so you definitely want to go that way. Or, well, I do anyway. Then we start scanning another hard drive. And the thing is, we can then deconstruct this. And it's still, well, damn it, where do you put the other scanner? Our one over here is still working away, decrypting the hard drive. So this means that you could go on a rampage all the way around the map finding hard drives. Every time you do, stop, put down a MAM, throw on a hard drive, start the research. And so long as you have one back here or one somewhere else, always left around to finish the scanning, the hard drive effectively teleports to that active MAM and you don't have to worry about losing anything. Just a handy way to do those things. Oh, and this is the Christmas sword. It's basically a candy cane. I believe it is the exact same thing as the regular sword. It's just candy cane shaped. Our milestone there up in the top right for oil processing requires 50 motors. Luckily we have a bunch of those on standby. So sort out, where is the, yeah, 50 motors, perfect. We also need, 500 copper, which I believe is right over here. Yes, thank you very much. 2, 4, 6, get rid of you, yes, 600 is grand. In case steel beam, that's downstairs. We'll take 100 of you, thanks very much. Actually, we'll take a little bit more than 100. We're going to need some of those for later anyway. Then we're going to need steel pipes. I think we got some here. Yep, we'll take, what, do we need 500? Yeah, we got more than enough. Perfect. Let's go knock this sucker out. There we go. Give us all the oil processing. Now we got to go scanning for the stuff.
Oil
yeah.
Caution. This is...
Yeah, we don't care about the milestone. We got the milestone. That's great. Let's see. Where do we put the scanner? Let's find some oil. We're going to need to exploit a bunch of this stuff. Though, oh, I should make sure I've got enough materials to bring with me. Closest oil is 500 meters that way? That's not actually too bad. Oh, excellent. You know, when you learn that you can jump off the highest heights and not die, it does make navigation a little bit simpler. Just make sure you don't jump into any poison gas or something like that. I'm pretty sure that would be fatal. Let's go find ourselves some oil. What the? Why is there water animations there? Never mind. Oh, looks like we get to find out how explosives work against this thing. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Damn it. That was a terrible shot. And where did the bugs come from? Oh, God. Come here, you. God damn it. That's so annoying. Come here. Come here. Hey. Come back. Whoa, whoa. What the? Where'd they go? I don't know if my game's glitching out, but they don't seem to... You know what? I'm just going to stay back here and shoot them. It's far safer. Ow. Also, my accuracy against this guy sucks. You know what? Come here. Come here. Come here. Let's play fetch. You're going to enjoy it. Trust me. Okay, I'm going to go play with the dog for a little bit longer. This may take me some time, though. Deliciously toasty. Now where was I? Ah, yes. Oil. I have been hunting for pure oil for a while. And what I've discovered is this place is just covered in spitters. Regular spitters, alpha spitters. Where are they? Where did you go? Stop disappearing. I don't know. My game's freaking out. I think I may have to do a reload because it does not seem to like all of this. Ow. Missed. Okay, maybe you didn't. Oh, look, a little one. Yeah, I'm not very good with this crossbow. It basically feels like you're firing a crossbow when you're using this thing. Hey, stay still so I can kill you. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Well, our hard drive is finished, and we've actually got some... There's a choice between pure Caterium ingots, which is actually quite good. That would be nice. That's a 50% increase in the amount of Caterium we'd get out. And also, cast screws are good. You know what? We're probably going to get offered this one again, so we'll go with the cast screws for now, because they are pretty damn handy. Let's show another hard drive. How many more we got left? 11. Oh, wow. Okay. I have found some pure oil. Oh, and a couple of things that are following us around. You've got wood. That's great. We'll just stick that straight in the bin. What do you got? Nothing yet. Alright, so we found some pure oil. Time to throw down... Where is it? Refinery? No. We want an extractor. Oil extractor. Now, the reason we came all of this way for pure is just better in general. And wow, that looks disturbing like a miner with just a few graphical changes. Where are we headed? Where's our base? Back that direction? Yeah, we're going to be running these pipes a long way, aren't we? This is why trains exist. While running that pipe, it's taking a little while. We've got another result from the hard drive, and I've been advised that polyester fabric is a good one to go for. It's the only way to get polyester where you're not actually mining mycelia manually by hand, so it's the only automated way to get your hands on it. Usually a good idea to take that one, it seems. And next hard drive. Now, oh yeah, where was I? Yeah, I was trying to run that pipe. Yeah, give me another few minutes here. Almost finished with that piping, I swear, but another hard drive's finished, and we've got a choice between motors, cables, and circuit boards. This circuit board one is interesting because it allows you to make circuit boards entirely out of oil, basically just using rubber and petroleum coke. This coated wire, though, is very interesting too. You basically are able to take heavy oil residue and copper wire, like 5 copper wire, and make 9 cable. Normally it takes 2 copper cable to make 1 wire, so you should only really get 2.5 wire out of this, but you get 9. This is a very energy efficient way of making it. I don't know if we'll end up using it, but I think this is the one, almost. Then there's this one over here. Normally you'd only get like 1.5 motors out of that many rotors and stators, but if you throw in an oscillator on top of that, you suddenly get, like, instead of 1.5, you get 6. I think this might be way, way, way more energy efficient. More complicated to do, but I think I'm going to take that one. No one's really suggested any of these, so I think I'm going to go with the motor one. We're definitely going to need motors at some point in the future, and then we queue up the next hard drive. Okay, I'm taking way too long about building this pipeline. We've got another recipe. I'm thinking steel rods. This allows us to turn steel into iron rods, or, well, steel rods in this instance. It means we can cut a lot of iron from our building, and it will... actually, there's lots of things we could do. We could also go with circuit boards, and this would have the amount of copper we need. No, we don't want charcoal. So I'm thinking, yeah, steel rods. I like these hard drives. They actually put in an awful lot of... you have to think really hard about what you're going to be doing next. But also we've managed to finally get oil back to our base. Let me go back to the start and maybe show you my trials and tribulations to figure out how pumps worked in a few things. But 1 second while I go down this ladder. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need the ladder. Whee! Crunchy kneecaps. So here is where our oils journey begins. This is a pure node, and we can extract 240 whatever crude oil per minute. This is the pipe that carries it. It can hold 300, so yeah, we're good for now. And you can see that sort of purpley, dark bluish. Let's go with purplish color there. That's the crude oil, and if it's up to the top, that means we should be getting the max throughput. Though in all fairness, first time working with oil, so I might be making a few assumptions here. As we went up through here and I checked this pipe here was fine, but when we got to this one, it was below pressure. So what I did was I stuck on a liquid pump here, or a pump right in line after this segment. You see, they have to think about this in terms of segments. This segment, perfect flow, no problems. But then when I went up to this one, it checked the past segments, and as far as I can tell, I went, oh, you're too high, we don't have enough pressure, so it wasn't filling up the whole way. So by sticking on a pump here, this goes, oh yeah, the pressure here is fine. Once we've got the pump there, it went, yeah, we'll pressurize this section. And then this pipe became, well, perfectly fine all the way along. Now, those pumps, they add head lift for, I don't know if it's 20 or 40 meters. It's enough head lift that we didn't have to care about the little hills on the way back. So if we check here, it's still all golden all the way. And yeah, you know what? Let's maybe do a little bit of a time lapse so we go all the way home. I'll stop jumping though, otherwise it'll make people, you know, kind of spewy. And here we are. This is how we got back home. Oh yeah, I sort of did that stairs there. I really misjudged where that platform was, and we kind of did the ladder straight back up. I was not walking around. Anyway, this is where things got a little bit more confusing. For example, we curved this pipe up and went straight up all the way to the top. And when I checked this pipe here, the pressure was a bit low. So we stuck on a liquid pump right here, just below it. You got to think of this in terms of segments. So this is one segment right here. You can see it highlighted. It goes all the way to the corner until we hit this corner junction. And once this segment here realized, hey, wait, I'm above the 40 meters that pump's supposed to be able to do, I am going to complain. So what we did was we stuck on a pump right here. This man went, oh, okay, fine, you've got a pump right there. We will fill up all the way. And then, okay, this is where it's going to get a little bit more confusing. You have to remember the programmers, when they're making this, they couldn't do anything too complicated. They couldn't count pixel by pixel how high up the pipes were going to go. So I could come up here and I could check this pipe, and the pressure level in here was about 80%. So all I did was go down here to where it was 100% and stuck on a pump. And because it was 100% here, it's able to force the oil up to the next level. And then when we check this, also 100%. But that leaves a problem when we get up to the top here. It's going to look like the pipe is 100% when we get to the top here. But the moment it takes the corner, as in one segment changes from one side to the other, for example, we'll go here. You know what? We'll delete this pump for now. I'll probably make it easier to explain. So if we check this out, it's going to fill back up. Yeah, all good. And then we check this section here. Oh wait, we will just flush this pipe segment for the moment. Turns out I may have accidentally flushed the pipes the whole way back. It took a while to refill this. Now I've been playing around since, and yeah, pipes don't make any sense. It's pretty much every time they introduce liquids into a game, it gets really confusing. The only pump I've got on this at the moment is the one at the very, very bottom. Way down there. And this seems to be pumping it all the way up here just fine. So I figure what we'll do is we're going to stick a fluid buffer on here. And the fluid buffer should, you know what? Yeah, put it there. This should allow us to test throughput. You, go in there. Okay, flow rate's going up. What are you at? Current amount of oil stored. Fill rate. Okay, you're filling at 50, 60, 70. This should max out at about, I think it was 260 for the oil, or 2 something. That's it, but yeah, it's hitting 300. I'm going to let this run for a while and see where it eventually stabilizes once it gets rid of any backlogs or buffers that we've built up somehow inadvertently through the pipes. Let's give this a few minutes and see what this evens out at before we confirm that we're getting the 260 all the way home to base. While we are waiting for our liquid pipes to fill back up again, I'm thinking we're going to grab smart plating. I would really like insulated cables and pure quartz crystal, but this is actually really handy and will cut down an awful lot on our expenses when building the engines late game. And, well, no one recommended these two, so we're going to go with that one. Might not be my best idea, but for late game I think we will find that very useful. You can go... Why is there... I gotta stop building MAMs everywhere. Anyway, how is the water looking? Oh, the oil has not caught back up again. It's still making its way along the pipe. This could take a minute. We did a complete flush of the system. We want to see exactly how much pressure and throughput we can get through here. I'm beginning to think I don't understand fluids in this game at all. This has got a fill rate of 300 meters squared. What the? Okay, now it's dropped off and now it's fluctuating. I think 260 is supposed to be the maximum the oil is able to output, so I'm not sure how we're actually going above that, considering we just flushed the pipes and this should be just the oil getting to us. Interesting. That's one way to do things. Anyway, I think we've got enough oil back to our base. I think it's time we started making plastic and rubber, which is the two things we're going to need from this oil so that we can proceed along the tech tree. Okay, what's it doing now? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to need to do some more playing around with the oil. I'll be back. To work with oil, we need these refineries, which are rather large. Not gonna try and sugarcoat that one. These things are huge. Let's go in here and have a look at all the potential recipes they've got, because there's a lot. This is an alternative recipe we found from one of the hard drives. That's fine, but we've got down here plastic, but the thing about this is it requires some additional stuff to make it, or it produces some. For example, if you want to make plastic, you can take pure crude oil and it will make plastic. However, you're going to end up with this heavy oil residue you then have to dispose of. By the same token, though, just say you want to make plastic a different way, you'd need to grab, was it polymer resin and water, and you can use that polymer resin and water to make the plastic. However, you could also make the rubber just directly from crude oil, or you could take polymer resin and water and make the rubber. So it seems polymer resin is an alternative thing you can do with it. Also, that heavy oil you get, you can turn it into petroleum coke for burning, or you can take it and you can turn it into fuel. Now, here's the weird thing. You can take 6 heavy oil residue and turn it into fuel, and that's that. Or you can take the exact same amount, or you can take crude oil, turn it into fuel, and have some leftover polymer resin. So you could basically take that crude oil, turn it into fuel, and then use the polymer resin that you've got left over to make your plastics or your rubbers if you want. But we don't. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to have this make, say, rubber. We'll have this one make plastic. What are you set to? Yeah, you can make plastic. So one will make plastic, one will make rubber, and then the leftover residue we're going to have to find some way to burn off. But hooking this up should be just fairly simple. We'll just put a splitter, or the oil equivalent of a splitter, right there. We'll put another one right there. Then it's just a case of hooking up the piping. You over there. Since we're on a level, this shouldn't cause any issues. Done. Just let me finish putting these pipings in. It should be fairly straightforward. And put in some power as well. With both of them hooked up, we've got the plastic and rubber that comes out the other side. However, you'll see we've sort of maxed out on the plastic and rubber front, and we're not really getting any more out. The reason being is the heavy oil residue has backed up. We need to dispose of that. It's a waste product. If you've ever played Factorio, you've experienced this before. So all we need to do here is, say we'll grab, not there. You can go there. Yeah, we're just going to be monsters here, and we're actually going to have the piping passing through. Oh, damn it. How did you not line up correctly? 1 second. With all of the piping here connected up, and of course it passes right through the transport belt just to annoy people who are purists. And we've got it all dumped in over here. And then all we're going to do is we're going to turn it into petroleum coke. Namely because this residue fuel is actually a liquid. We'd need to box it up or something like that. And the only other option is, well, petroleum coke. We could start doing other fancy stuff by combining it with things, but realistically, we just make petroleum coke. Give me some power there while we're at it. You. Power pole. Damn, that thing's huge. Okay. And that should start making petroleum... Why are you not working? So it turns out I had that thing facing the wrong way. So I had the inputs going into the outputs. Never mind. It's now producing petroleum coke. Now we could take that and dump it into a power plant to actually generate ourselves some power, which... yeah, I'm not bothered. Instead, all we'll do is we'll just grab an awesome sink here and chuck it on the end. The awesome sink can eat all the petroleum coke. Yep, there we go. And that means we don't have to worry about it. And let's upgrade that to a tier 3 belt. And oh my God, how am I messing up the lining up on these things so badly today? There we go. That's not actually going to make us many points, even when we do power this thing. It's just, it's not even, that's not what it's about. It's just about disposal. This way we never get a backup in the system. Okay, done and done. Maybe at a later date I'll come back and turn it into power, though I seriously doubt it. I can just expand our coal power production far easier than that. Alright, back here, that means... what are you doing? 124 rubber. Okay, so it produces 20 rubber per minute. Seems to be working at full speed, and over here seems to be working at full speed. Yeah, we could throw in a couple more if we wanted. Coming back to our hub, we can then knock out that tech we've been trying to get around to, the industrial manufacturing. Industrial manufacturing is going to give us access to a manufacturer, which allows us to take 4 parts and combine them together. A truck, computers, modular engines, and adaptive control units. These last 2 are just parts for the space elevator. But what we really want is the computer. That gives us access to a bunch of other stuff. So, this is going to be our active milestone. We'll just chuck those in, and done. Thank you kindly. Now, what's the next thing we're going to want to tuck into? Yeah, I know, I just knocked it out. Now, we could get fluids. I'm sort of very interested here, though, in expanded power infrastructure, which gives us fuel generators, which in theory should allow us to burn oil directly, or burn at least the fuel off the oil. That seems to be a liquid power fuel generator, so that could give us an awful, awful power boost, because otherwise I'm going to have to go back and start messing with coal again. Or, actually we might knock out this. This will allow us to make fuel canisters, packaged fuel, stuff like that. This is very important because we also want to get our hands on jetpacks. Yeah, I'm greedy. I want them all, okay? I want them all. I think we'll do alternative fluid first. I might even knock out gas masks. No. Alternative fluid, Then we're going to do extended power infrastructure and jetpacks. Yes, actually no, maybe jetpacks first. Then, yeah, alternative fluid, then jetpacks. For our next hard drive, we've got alternative blueprint iron wire. It allows us to make copper wire out of iron as opposed to copper. It's not as good, but it can be useful if you're in a pinch. So it was recommended we'll get it. And we've still got a bunch more hard drives to go. About time you came back. We've been waiting for you. We want to research the next level of tech. What we're looking for here was fluids, was it not? Yeah, alternative fluid transport. Now, land so that we can load you up. Oh, these heavy modular frames, we didn't make them, we just found them around crash sites. Yeah, we did a bunch of scavenging. Okay, that gives us alternative fluid transport.
Milestone reached. Fluids can now be packaged to allow for transportation via vehicle and conveyor belts.
Now, what we want is... Next we want is biofuel packaged. Packaged biofuel, 100 rubber, 100 plastic, and 50 motors, and this will allow us to get jetpacks. Yes, I am very interested in jetpacks. However, first we have to package up a bunch of fuel, which is going to require a packager and a bunch of stuff we just researched. Give me a couple of minutes here. For our next hard drive, we've got charcoal again. Yeah, you can't automate the production of wood, so that's pointless. And automated speed wiring. This is only for the space elevator, so we don't care. And this alternative blueprint for copper rotors it's not actually that good, but honestly, of all of them, it's probably the least bad, which is not saying an awful lot. Yeah, we can deconstruct that now. Let's maybe go back to figuring out how this packager works. Well, looks like we got another MAM completed. I'm thinking we're going to go with fused wire. I should really actually give you a good example of why these are so useful and why it's so tricky to pick between them. But we don't want the circuit boards. That's just using Caterium, which is actually quite expensive. This one's actually pretty good, but I think I'm going to hold out for a better version of steel if I can. And the fused wire, 4 copper, 1 Caterium, and you get to build 30 wire. You know what? Let's just have a quick look at what our current recipe is and why this one is so much better. This here is how we're currently making our copper wire. We put in 1 copper ingot and we got out 2 copper wire. It's a 1:2 ratio. And then you can see down below there we have an alternative recipe where we can use iron, but we're not going to bother with that one. The one we're looking at is alternative recipe 2, which is where we put in 4 copper ingots, 1 Caterium, and we get 30 copper wire. That means for each 1 resource we put in, we're getting like, what, 6? Yeah, we're getting 6 copper wire out. That's incredible. Normally we put in 1 and we get 2, so we're getting 3 times as much copper wire per resource put in, and as well as that, it produces 3 times faster. As in, this works at 30 copper wire per minute is produced by this one machine. True, this one is an awful lot bigger, but this one produces 90 copper wire per minute. So it actually produces 3 times as fast. Well, also, it consumes like a lot more electricity. 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's 3 and 1/3 times more electricity. It's a fair bit more, but it saves you so much resources. The thing is, it does require you to get a Caterium into your factory and all that, so there are downsides to it, but the upsides are you can run an awful lot of a bigger factory on a smaller footprint with less resources from less distance, if you're willing to put in the effort, that is. Now, where was I? Oh yes, I was getting distracted again. Yes, this here is going to be our packaging facility. It turns out you have to use plastic to make the empty canisters, and then you fill the empty canisters with fuel. 1 second here while I do a little bit of changing things around. Alright, in a typical Satisfactory fashion, that's had spiraled a little bit. What we had to do here was take plastic, dump it into this. This made us these empty plastic canisters. Then we would take those empty plastic canisters and combine it with fuel, and then it would spit out the other side the packaged fuel that we need. However, that was taking up most of our plastic. So, well, as well as that, we had to repackage the coke plant here that was making coke to dispose of the heavy fuel and use that to make the fuel. So instead, we now have 2 things over here making coke. But why 2? Well, we needed a second plastic factory. Right, so now we've got 2 plastic factories producing the necessary plastic, but only one of them is actually for storage, the other one's for turning into compacted fuel stuff thingy. Right, with that done, we can get on to the next bit. Oh, and right after this, I think I'm going to have to go somewhere. Where is it? There we go. There's a power pole. Let's check. Yep, our max consumption and production. Yep, we're almost. Well, we're not actually using it, but I'm probably going to have to go back and expand the coal supply in a bit. But first, let's go have a quick look at our milestones, because I am really looking forward to jetpacks. That turned out to be actually pretty handy to do. Okay, well, it's fine by all the complications, but yes. Jetpacks. Hell yes. Turns out we can craft that jetpack straight away. We Never actually made any circuit boards, but we found a bunch lying around the place. So, yeah, let's check out the jetpack. Though I probably am going to burn through all of the fuel immediately. I wonder how hungry this is for fuel. And done. Alright. Does this replace... I think this is going to replace the Blade Runners, is it? Right. We have 93 fuel. Okay. Can't actually take you that... Can't take you that high. Oh, no. Okay, so until we land. Useful, but not... You know what? Oops, wrong button. Never mind. Okay, hovering. That's where it excels. Let's go see if we can't get a little bit of distance. I need to stop equipping those. Right, so if you take a running jump, you can get a nice big sprint, and you can hover really far across. Okay. I dig it. This is going to make finding a hard drive so much simpler. Our next hard drive choice is a very, very simple one. While some of these do look interesting, this one is the most amazing. You take one steel beam and you turn it into 52 screws. It's, yeah, it's incredibly efficient. Everyone seems to like this one a lot because it makes making screws just so much handier. How many hard drives left? 3. Next up, we have a big bowl of just to hate 'em all. Concrete's easy enough to make. This is just a way of making empty canisters that doesn't require plastic. You can instead make it out of about 2 iron and 2 copper. No, and then we've got crystal oscillators. This is the only alternative recipe for that, so I think I'll just grab it. Not because it's great, but because it's the only best of a bad bunch. Oh, and yes, I forgot to cover the Explorer. This is a Jeep you get to build. I had a few motors lying around, and we researched this ages ago, but I never really utilized it. It's got mushy controls. I'm not much into race. Well, I haven't done racing games in a long, long time, but yeah. Oh, it sometimes is a bit trouble with that transport belt. It feels squishy. The suspensions on this are not really designed. Well, I suppose it does. It has great off-road handling, I suppose, in terms of it doesn't fall over, which is what you really want out of this. Are we going the right way? I think we are. Whoop. Sometimes you come around the crest and you're like, am I going to hit something? Oh, come here, you, come here. Oh, I missed him. Oh, and I think I just answered one of my questions. I think I just drove straight through a bunch of those peppernut things, and I think I destroyed them. Oops. Oh, damn it. Can I get out of that again? Can't enter or use as it's submerged in... Yeah, that was my bad. A quick bit of disassembly and reassembly, and we've got it back on the road again. This thing is pretty fun. Supposedly it's very good at climbing up stuff, but one downside... Yeah, it looks like you can destroy those plants, which is bad. You really don't want to destroy those? Okay, I'm not going to run over any more of those. I just had to double check to make sure. Those things are what respawn your food, and it would be bad if you got rid of all of those. Anyway, let's... oh. Yeah, let's go see if we can't run into some bees. I don't think creatures can attack you while they're in here. They haven't discovered how to make that work yet. And... yeah, they can't seem to hit you while you're in this, though I believe poison gas works against you. Honestly, I don't care, because by the time I come back here, they will all be gone again. They will have despawned, so this is actually a worthwhile way of getting rid of those things. Oh, I want this thing to have a bit of a horn on it, so you can blow the horn just before you take the legs out from under those things. Don't worry, they'll recover in a second. I may not. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my driver's license revoked. Next up, I'm thinking fuel generators. We need them. Conveyor belt Marks 4. We need them. Conveyor lifts. I don't know why we need the scanner update for K-Tyriamore. We can already scan for that. That means we're going to need computers and heavy modular frames. The weird thing is, to produce heavy modular frames, you need a manufacturer. One of these things that takes 4 inputs. However, that actually requires you to already have heavy modular frames, so you have to manually produce the first 10 heavy modular frames you make, or you can find them at crash sites. It's weird. If you run into something and you're like, wait, how do I produce that because I need it to produce it? You can probably manually craft it here. Like, how do we manually craft an AI limiter? I had no idea. Turns out you can do that. Oh, MAM research is complete. This one is pretty much a no-brainer. Stitched iron plate. You get copper wire and iron plate. You don't need any screws to make it, though. Oh, you know what? We don't even need it now, but we're going to grab it anyway, because it's one of the good ones. And one last hard drive, and then I think going to think we're calling it a day. Reason being is we've got to expand our production lines quite a bit on a few things. Like, we've got to start manufacturing computers, and we've got to start manufacturing heavy modular frames. Now, we actually have all the bits and pieces to make the heavy modular frames, but we don't have all the pieces to make the computers. We're going to need to have in another plastic line, and we're going to need to make those green circuits. Everything else, though, yeah, is pretty much available all around. Though the one thing I'm really excited about is getting our hands on trains. This should be interesting. I think once we've knocked out tier 5 and 6, once we finish just knocking out all of those, which we should be able to do fairly early next episode, I think we rip down the entire factory and build it back up from scratch, but based on Mark IV transport belts. Do we get Mark III miners later? Let me have a quick check here. Ooh, would you look at this one? Terrible, because you can't mine wood. Silica, no thank you, not really important, but bolted frames. We actually are going to be producing a bunch of these quite shortly, and being able to make bolted frames will actually save us a bunch of time and effort. And that is the last hard drive for the day, thankfully. Actually, thankfully is not really a good way to say that. I'm going to have to go hunting more in between episodes. I think next up, though, will be, hammering out computers, heavy modular frames, and then getting ourselves onto monorail trains. I want to get into trains, pipe engineering, expanded infrastructure. Basically, knock out all these things and we can tear down our base and rebuild it properly. Well, assuming we can find a few more hard drives along the way. Now, as for the objective over here for the space elevator, I've already started the production of one of them. You can see there's about 120 already done. That's because we have all the items for that already on the bus. I think it just takes modular frames and... damn it, what was the second thing? Modular frames and steel beams. That's all it needs, and yeah, they're going straight in there already to actually finish off that section. We're going to need to make a few changes, but we've got actually about 2/3 of the stuff we need to make the rest of it anyway. Our factory has grown a little bit extra every single time we come back, and I must admit, they have done an awful good job of making those buildings just look pretty and functional, even little fix-it signs on the side of them. And yes, I am quite proud of that oil pipeline we ran today. Anyway, before I start rambling anymore, I hope you enjoyed and good luck.